Linda Wananchi, tunakuja Meru.
Tunakuja Meru, karibuni sana Linda Wananchi.
Meru Lodi.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome back to our channel once again. Allow me to play for you guys this clip here. It's very short, less than 20 seconds. I want you to watch it till the end and pay very close attention. And tell me two things which you are going to identify from that clip. Ladies and gentlemen, for me, I identified two things. The first thing is the speaker, Kawira Mwangaza.
Na tunasema hivi tukiwa na mahaslas wenzangu ya kwamba Meru County haitatekwa nyara na makatero 10 ambao wanafikiria Meru iko na shida. Watu 10 viongozi ambao wanalipa mshahara wa 1 million ama 500 and above always to make decision ya kwamba Meru iko katika shimo, whereas we know shida yao ni yao wenyewe binafsi, tumbo zao.
And the second thing I observed is the crowd. And my question is, why is Kawira Mwangaza still very popular in Meru, despite the fact that she was actually impeached? Because remember, Mike Sonko was impeached. Where is Mike Sonko today? Ferdinand Waititu was impeached. Where is Ferdinand Waititu? Which means there's something which the people of Meru are seeing in Kawira, which most Kenyans don't see. But I know the other question you are asking, why did you play that clip? I played that clip because today, James Orengo and Senator Godfrey Osotsi met with Kawira Mwangaza. And after that meeting, James Orengo made this post. Let me just read it for you from my laptop. The Linda Wananchi caravan is Meru bound. After a productive session with Senator Godfrey Osotsi and former Governor Kawira Mwangaza today, we are preparing to hit the ground. Date announcement coming soon. Ladies and gentlemen, Linda Wananchi is headed to Meru. And for me, that Meru tour is going to be significant, politically speaking. And I want us to analyze it. Because yesterday, Edwin Sifuna was on Spice FM. And Edwin Sifuna was very clear that their next stop is going to be Eldoret. So whether Eldoret or Meru, the two choices is significant.
Itakuwa mbaya.
Fagilia wote.
Fagilia wote kabisa.
Fagia wote. Mambo ni
one time.
Tunasema fagia wote. Fagia
wote.
Linda Mwananchi inakuja Meru. Na tunasema fagia
wote.
Asante.
Because William Ruto is depending on Mount Kenya East. Meru is the largest voting block there. And also is depending on Eldoret, which is his home county, to deliver for him. And therefore, if this team were to go to Eldoret and receive massive reception, then I can assure you they'll gain the momentum. But why do you think Orengo met with Kawira Mwangaza? That's exactly what I want to explain to you guys in this video. Before I do that, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, before I give you my first point, on 18th of April, this was Kawira again. And Kawira has been doing this not for several weeks. But why do you think Orengo decided to go and meet Kawira Mwangaza? Number one, I think James Orengo, or the leader Wananchi for that matter, are keen on disrupting William Ruto's schemes for 2027. And what is William Ruto's schemes for 2027? William Ruto is banking on Western Alliance. That is the Luo Nation and the Luya Nation. And Linda Wananchi is actually coming to those regions and disrupting it. Then we are seeing William Ruto also trying to figure out how to win Mount Kenya East. And again, what are we seeing? We are seeing Edwin Sifuna. We are seeing Edwin Sifuna's team meeting with Kawira Mwangaza. So in short, this team here is trying so hard to disrupt William Ruto's equation for 2027. Because if you are to look at Mount Kenya East, where William Ruto is banking on, Meru has the highest number of votes. I think the registered voters in Meru in the last election, if I'm not wrong, was close to 700,000. That's huge. Very huge. So which means if these guys were to split the Meru votes, or if they were able to now lock Ruto out of Meru through Kawira Mwangaza, because remember, Kawira Mwangaza's impeachment was engineered by people like Mithika Linturi. And that can explain why Kawira has refused to join Rigathi Gachagua, because Linturi is playing a key role in that camp. So, in my view, the target is to win the Meru votes and therefore lock Ruto out of Mount Kenya East, number one. Number two is the projected reception. Politics is a game of numbers, perceived or real. In short, politics is a perceptual game. These guys were in Kisumu, massive reception. And I remember talking to one of their leaders the other day. He was just seeking for my opinion, their next stop. And I told them that for me, if I were to advise them, I would advise them to organize a massive rally in Nairobi. And he was like, but if you were to do that, there are several regions we've not gone to. My advice was, if they go to the next place and then the reception is not what they received in Kisumu, what not they received in Kakamega, let's say even in Kitengela, then the momentum is going to slow a bit. Because originally, their idea was to go to Homa Bay or Migori. I told them if they go there, they cannot be sure. They succeeded in Kisumu, the opponent might try to frustrate. So these guys have now found the right place. I was with Baba, and all the rallies we attended in Eldoret were always successful. These guys can easily organize a rally in Eldoret with success. Because if you go to Eldoret town today, the number of Kikuyus there are so many. In fact, there is this wall. I think during Ruto Uhuru, there was even a by-election there, which I think one of the first UDA elected MCs there. It is called what? One of them there. So Luyas are there and the Luos. So if they were to go to Eldoret, they'll easily get the crowd. Now, if they go to Meru with the full support of Kawira Mwangaza and the crowds we are seeing attending Kawira Mwangaza's rallies here, tell me how they will not be able to attract massive crowd. So I think they've realized that if we pick Eldoret or Meru and plan well, then we can still be able to sustain the narrative of crowd. Because what we are seeing today in this country, there's the war for the crowd. William Ruto was in Kibra the other day with a massive crowd. And most people like the crowd in Kibra were either mobilized, if not bought. The one in Kondale was organic. So For me, it's about the war of crowd for perception, for the reception. That's number 2. Number 3, I think Linda Wananchi are now moving to the next level. It started just like a movement within ODM party. Then now they've realized that this movement is now bigger than ODM. It has now to move beyond ODM because Kawira cannot join ODM. So what they are doing is that they're trying to craft a winning formation. And how can they craft a winning formation? Getting the right people. In Meru, now they have Kawira Mwangaza. A very good pick for them, if you were to ask me. In fact, that was genius. That's why sometimes I look at Kalonzo and I wonder whether Kalonzo is seriously looking for president. Kawira was impeached. We all know that she's been on the ground. Kalonzo has never bothered to go and look for her. It had to be Orengo and Osotsi. So the thing is, these guys are looking for winning formation. I said politics is a game of numbers. Let's say they bring on board Kawira Mwangaza, Sifuna, Orengo. You know, the team keeps on growing. And lastly, I think James Orengo is now trying to stamp his authority as far as Linda Wananchi movement is concerned. He's the guy who is now identifying the players and recruiting them into the picture. Into the team. So for me, that's a very good move by James Orengo because power is taken. Power is never given. If he was waiting for Sifuna to give him the power, that will not happen. He must grab the power by taking charge. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what to think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Lee McQueen. Bye-bye.